I have a confession, and that's that I like to fantasize about a world without gender. It's a world where nobody assumes anything about me based on my genitals, the gender I was assigned at birth, or based on some new limiting box that I felt pressured to select in the first place, some chosen pronouns. It's a world where I'm simply me, and other people, they might actually glimpse who that is because they haven't already decided based on how I look or, what third person word they hear used to refer to me. It's a radical idea. I know it is. But I also know I'm not completely alone because I've come across some of these terms: postgenderism, gender abolitionism. So there's other people out there advocating for similar fantasies. Now enter the screams, the accusations, the nasty comments. Let's be honest, I don't really have the time or the patience to engage with some of these perspectives. For example, that gender and sex are synonymous, that biology is straightforward, that intersex people don't even exist, or that there's this innate common sense brain genital connection that somehow governs everything that we do, despite being completely undetectable to anyone who actually studies this stuff. If that's you, you're going to scream louder than me and you're going to conflate that volume with victory. So go on, keep screaming and not researching because, you already know it all. You see, postgenderism, it's not conservative enough for those who refuse to accept that gender is a social construct. It's something we could unconstruct, or at least something we could stop actively reinforcing. But it's also not liberal enough in the right ways to please most progressives. They'll say I'm culturally insensitive because gender is tied to history, spirituality, social structure. I'm not against any of that, but I am against imposing rigid binary expectations on individuals simply because that's what we've always done. If history teaches us anything, it's that individuals, cultures, societies, all of us, we have to keep evolving. Other people will say that I'm anti trans. After all, how can you even have trans identities in a world without gender? Now, I deeply respect the beauty of celebrating identity as resistance, and I honor how hard that resistance has been fought. But I fail to see that as a reason to keep upholding the very systems that needed to be resisted in the first place. A world where you can wear what you want, present how you want, pursue what you want, modify your body how you want, feel and be however you want, without needing permission from a checkbox. That's a world where being trans could exist in a limitless way without this terrifying daily struggle that currently accompanies it. Others are going to say, but hey, biology matters. Sure, in some contexts, a doctor might need to know about your body for medical care, but remember that's sex, not gender. I am in no way against accurate medical records. I am against the absurd gender reveal party, though, where thousands of tiny assumptions are made about a child based on their genitals before they've even taken a breath. And no, I'm not convinced that simply, well, let the child choose or discover their gender is the right answer either. Whenever that child declares who they are, they're simultaneously declaring who they aren't. And kids should be open to as many experiences as possible, not feeling pressured to pick a side. And let's be honest, if adults don't truly understand gender, and I don't think we do, how can a kid? Finally, of course, the perfectionist fallacy. You can't perfectly eradicate gender, so why try? You'll just create new boxes, so why not keep the ones we have? You got to focus on other issues first: racism, capitalism, ableism. The answer there is simple: better is still better, even if it's not perfect. So even if we don't eradicate gender, maybe we could at least start taking it a little less seriously. Because let's be honest, the trend right now is to take it ridiculously seriously. Sure, people are still going to put you in boxes, but right now they're putting you into boxes they can't even define. I don't think anyone can tell me what a man is, for example, but I'm supposed to know if I am one, and I'm supposed to know exactly what that means for every single aspect of my life. And yeah, there are plenty of oppressive forces. We do need to give them intersectional attention, but it's still okay to fantasize. And it's still okay to take an imperfect step toward a better world. So that's what I invite you to do, to fantasize with me. What does a world without gender look like? How would your daily life change? How would it feel to wake up, wear what you want, act how you want, and have none of that allegedly represent something about your inner soul? How would it feel to describe your friends without assigning them to a gender box? And to have it not matter whether they were the same or opposite gender as you? Would it feel liberating? Terrifying? I'm genuinely curious, so let me know.